Hi everyone, my name is Rajesh and this video is going to be very special video. So far on YouTube in last 5 months we have released close to 23 videos, and all those videos the objective has always been first of all to create the awareness about ERP consulting as a serious career option for somebody who is coming from a non-tech background. So let's say somebody is a chartered accountant or MBA finance graduate, or maybe MBA in any other stream like supply chain management, human capital management, marketing, and so on and so forth. So how exactly you can get into an IT career, which is kind of a need of an hour, and how exactly you can cross train yourself on the technicalities without getting into the likes of coding and development and all, and how exactly you can secure and develop a good career option in this particular ERP career. So that has been one of the objective. Other objective for the videos that we created on YouTube, and we will continue to create all such videos, is guide the fresher entrants who have just started their career in the ERP consulting, be it any stream. So it can be functional consultant in human capital management, financials, or supply chain management, or maybe a technical consultant. So for all of you, what are the guiding factors, or what are some of the basic pointers that you should be aware of while building the career as an ERP consultant? To provide the knowledge or to share the knowledge on that is one other objective behind YouTube videos that we release under yourerpcoach.com. Talking about myself, I'm a qualified chartered accountant, as I have mentioned in a couple of previous videos, and I have been working in this ERP consulting industry since close to 10 years now. And since last 4 years, I have trained more than 250 people in terms of starting their journey as Oracle Cloud Financials consultant. Now, I myself have been doing the consulting in Oracle Cloud Financials so far, and that's where I have been acting as a corporate trainer for the people who join this particular career of Oracle Financials Cloud Consulting. In today's video, I want you to let you know more about yourerpcoach.com, this entire venture that we have started. So why we started this venture and what exactly we are going to do with this. In all our YouTube videos so far, towards the end, you have been seeing this portal called www.yourerpcoach.com, and I have been telling you in all these videos that you can go and inquire on that particular portal. So our main objective behind starting www.yourerpcoach.com, or YECC as we call it, is to create or to open up the ERP consulting opportunities for the fresher graduates, especially for those who are coming from a non-technical background, so who have been trained on any of the functional areas what I just mentioned, and who want to get into an rewarding ERP consulting career. So to provide the gateway, to provide the opportunity for them to get into this career and to help them getting into this. So that has been the motto for creating www.yourerpcoach.com. Traditionally, ERP consulting has been a career option which has got a lot of entry barriers for the fresher graduates typically. Because in this role, you are supposed to first of all know the system in and out. And secondly, as a functional consultant specifically, you are also supposed to talk to multiple CXO level people in the organizations or in the client organizations typically, wherein you need to have a sufficient level of communication maturity and a sufficient level of consulting skills. And that has been the major reason why the companies do not ideally rely much on the freshers for the roles of functional ERP consultants. Now, if you just go on LinkedIn and if you simply go and type in, let's say, Oracle Cloud Financials Consultant, and if you see the job openings, then you will observe that most of the times the job openings are for the experienced candidates, and there will be very few job openings that are there for the fresher candidates. However, now more and more companies are ready to hire the fresher graduates, especially those who have a very good competency in terms of their specific domain area. So somebody, let's say, is very good at finance, and holds, let's say, a chartered accountancy or an MBA finance degree, then organizations are more than happy to get these people into this ERP consulting domain. So one option how this gets worked out is companies first employ you either through the campus placements of, let's say, various institutes or various colleges, and then they give you the training on the product, or then they give you the training about the consulting. And then that training more or less is a blend of, let's say, a classroom training, maybe for 3 to 4 months. And then it's on the job training, which is like you start doing the work, and on the job, while you are delivering the work, you learn. However, such opportunities are still very, very limited. That's simply because, as I said, the organizations tend to still look for more of the experienced candidate, somebody who has already worked on these ERPs or somebody who has known this particular ERP. So the second option that remains then is to first get trained on the ERP consulting and then apply for various job opportunities that are there for the freshers in all of these companies. So as we have already seen in many of our previous videos, generally all the big IT companies, all the big four firms, all the small and mid-sized consulting firms, or most of them, typically have this ERP consulting domain as one of their business lines. And that's where all of these companies are the potential employers for you as an ERP consultant. However, when it comes to this second option, which is like getting trained and then applying into this particular companies, there are very, very few and limited options available out there in the market. The first option, as we have seen in one of our videos, is the OEM training, which is like, let's assume that there are these three tier 1 ERPs, which are Oracle, SAP, and Microsoft Dynamics. Let's assume that all of them have their training courses listed on their websites, or maybe they deliver the training through their partners network. So for example, SAP generally follows this particular method wherein they have a handful of authorized partners, authorized training partners, and those partners can give you the training which may range around 3 to 4 months or maybe 6 months, and then they will help you get placed in this particular career. On the other hand, in case of Oracle, there is something called Oracle University or learn.oracle.com, which by the way we have covered in one of our previous YouTube videos. I'm giving the link of that video over here, so if you are interested, you can go back and check that. However, the problem with all of these courses are hell expensive. So if you, for example, look at, let's say, the Oracle course, then that will cost you somewhere around 3,75,000 rupees to get trained and to get certified. And even after spending that much, you may not have the job guarantee. And that is where it practically becomes impossible for an individual to go and get trained on those courses. On the other hand, there are a lot of other small scale institute which will ideally train you in a very, very less price. However, none of those will ideally give you the job guarantee. And as I already spent close to 10 years in this career, I have been doing so many different interviews also to get the people selected in this particular role. Now, when I do the interview, I have realized, or I have come to know, that the quality of all of these institutes which basically provide the training has not been that good so far. Now, I'm not generalizing this particular statement. There may be the good institutes out there who are providing a very good quality of training. However, largely what I have seen is, if let's say I'm interviewing some candidate who has get trained in any of these institutes, they do not have much clarity about the product. And even if they have, they just know the product's technicality or the software's technicality. But for being a functional consultant, that's not enough. Apart from knowing the product functionalities or technicalities, you need to be very good at business processes understanding, or let's say your domain area understanding. So if you want to be a finance consultant, then your understanding in financials and accounts processes and concepts need to be very, very strong. On the other hand, if you want to be, let's say, a supply chain management consultant, then you need to know that supply chain management as a functional domain area. And this particular part, nobody ideally focuses. And that is something that's visible when somebody like me takes the interview as a part of the recruitment process for the fresher roles. And all of this ideally led to the idea to start yourerpcoach.com. Now, if we look at ERP consulting training, then it is very, very job oriented training, which is something like you won't undergo the ERP consulting training if you do not want to get a job into it. And that is where it makes perfect sense to provide you with the job opportunities or job openings as well after we train you. And that's where we have brought this revolutionary concept in the ERP consulting training domain, which is pay after you get placed, which is something like you don't need to pay us any single rupee upfront, and we will be investing in you, we will be training you. And once you get trained and once you get placed with some of our placement partners, then and only then you will need to pay us our fees. And if we somehow cannot get you placed, then the training is completely on us. So we are not going to charge you anything for that particular training. Isn't that something that is unbelievable? But yes, we are doing it. Why? Because we want to have our complete skin in the game. So if we can't get you placed, then it doesn't really give us any authority to charge you anything. However, when we say that it is pay after you get placed as a model, then we need equal devotion and dedication from your end as well. And that is where the course that we are going to offer on yourerpcoach.com, in fact, one of the flagship courses that we are going to offer is not open for all. What you will need to do to get admitted in this particular course is to go to yourerpcoach.com, and we have enabled a login option over there. So you need to log in, you need to register yourself, you need to add your CV and profile information. And then there is one free course that is available, which is freely accessible to all who log in and register. So you can go through that free course, which is about 5 hours duration course. It consists of certain handpicked YouTube videos from our previous videos. Then there are certain tests and assignments on those videos as well to judge how better or how far you have understood the basics of the ERP consulting as a career option. And once you complete that training, then we will be putting you through a rigorous selection process, which is going to involve, let's say, the personal interview and the aptitude test. And through all this process, if we figure out that you are truly deserving candidate, then we are going to include you in this program, in this training program, which is going to be close to 5 to 6 months duration. We have not yet announced the dates of starting of this program, but I'm sure we will be in position to announce those soon. For now, as a beginning, we are starting with this course, which is limited for the candidates who are coming from the financial domain and who want to build their career in Oracle financial functional consulting. So it is only for those people. However, the free course that is available on portal is ideal for anybody. So that doesn't have any restriction in terms of what background you are from or what exactly you want to get into. If you want to assess your knowledge based on like how far you have understood the basics of ERP consulting, you can very well go register on yourerpcoach.com, log in, complete your profile and watch the first course and complete the first course. However, the first flagship course that we are going to launch soon is exclusively for those people who are coming from the finance as a background. And especially we are inviting all those people who have done, let's say, the MBA in finance or who have commerce graduate and have some sort of domain experience or industry experience or work experience, and they want to shift their career into this ERP consulting domain, or somebody who is, let's say, a CA inter or a CMA inter or a chartered accountant or CMA and so on and so forth. So anybody who is coming from any of these finance domain backgrounds and anyone having experience or a complete fresher, but somebody who wants to build a career in the ERP consulting domain, all such people are invited to register and to log in. And then once you have completed this course, then we will be getting in touch with you for the further shortlisting and selection process. We are pretty excited to start this particular journey with all of you. If you are equally excited, please visit www.yourerpcoach.com right now.